Let's call tonight's Board of Works meeting to order. Paul, will you take the roll?
Mayor John Eargang.
Here.
Brad Dreyer.
Here.
Bill Hartman.
Here. You've received copies of your minutes from the July meeting. Have you had a chance to review those?
Yes, sir.
Any questions, comments, changes?
No, sir.
Could I have a motion to approve the minutes from the July 14th Board of Works meeting?
I will make a motion to approve the minutes from the July meeting.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second to approve our July 14th minutes from the Board of Works. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. We have one item under, I'm sorry, no nays. We have one item under old business, and that was the bid approval for the lift station improvement or repair, actually replacement out at Hillendale. I believe Blaine had a chance to review it, and our engineer did review it as well. The low bid on that came from Dave O'Mara Contracting, and upon his review, Gary Ladd is the engineer that works on those for our wastewater. He said they met all the requirements. They were the low bidder, and he was recommending we go with their bid, including the alternate B. I'm sorry. That totaled $350,655. So they were still low bid, and he was recommending we award the bid to them. Any questions, comments?
No, sir.
I'll make a motion that we accept the bid for Dave O'Meara Contracting for $350,65.
I'll second it. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. The motion carries. That's the only item of old business we had. Under new business, we have 4 road closures. The first one, and I'm going to ask if we can do these all as one. The first one we have is for the Halloween parade on October 31st at 6 p.m. This is the annual request. The parade route is the traditional parade route, beginning at the Memorial Pool and ending here in front of the Memorial Building. Again, it's been happening that way since I was a kid, so I think they have attached their everything. You have any questions on that one?
No, appears to be in order.
The next item is a roadblock by Phi Beta Psi sorority. The request that is requested for October 4th. I believe it's a Saturday from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and that's at the intersection of East Pearl and Park. I believe they utilized the same space last year. It's for their annual roadblock they do to collect funds for the chapter. Actually, I do have a question on that, and I want to bring it to your attention. When I was reviewing their certificate of insurance, it is signed by me, and I'm no longer in the insurance business. And the date of the certificate is 12/19/2014. So that one I would just make subject to a current certificate of insurance. You okay with that?
I'm fine with that.
And item 3 was a road closure request. This is in front of the VFW post. They want to have a trunk or treat that same night, October 31st, in their parking lot, but they're asking to close Boehringer from Park down to the entryway into the Village Green parking lot. So that way you still get traffic through there. The next item is another road closure request. It is from the Golden Fox Studios. They're an independent filmmaker. I believe they came in late last week, and they want to shoot some film for a film they're making. They want to shoot it on West Pearl Street. I believe, and Andrea, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the section between Main and Walnut. Okay, I do have another point to bring up there. They do not have any certificate of liability insurance. They're asking to do that on Sunday, September 7th from 5 to 8 p.m.
Do we need to know anything about this, or?
We know it's an independent film. It's a fictional film. They described it as sci-fi comedy cross. That's about as much as I know about it. But again, I don't have a particular issue with them filming in that particular block. I think they want to utilize, get that old factory building in the shot. But again, they have not attached a certificate of liability insurance that we have historically requested. I guess a recommendation would be I would recommend approving all four of them, subject to the liability insurance for both the independent film production on September 7th and a current certificate of liability for the sorority. And I will make that a motion to approve the request.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second to approve the road closure request. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Andrea, can you follow up with them for the certificates? Thank you. Those are all the items we have on tonight's agenda. If either you have any other business that we need to discuss, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn tonight's meeting. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion carries. The meeting is adjourned. We will start the council meeting at 6:45.
How we doing, Beth?
How are you?
Good.
Waiting to see, I was gonna get tendon transfer this year. He would like to. Like I can walk because of my leg. See, it's not my foot because I can't move my foot at all.
One parking lot's next to the building.
Can go like that. That, can't do anything else with my ankles completely, pretty much completely dead. Yeah, so it's just a matter.
Hey, Bill, how are you? See it, sure looks good. Huh? Grandbaby's doing good.
Every 6 months and see if there's any, progress, so. Frustrating, but I'm alive. Could be worse, so I'm grateful for that. And
It's all good. You know, my wife usually takes care of that.
we could figure out how to.
We get in there. It was so bad. The guy had one baby.
Start with you. Nice way to spend your birthday.
I'm like struggling. I didn't know what to do. They have a box. Like I donate some diapers to whoever they done.
I'm doing here.
He's good.
Good.
Really good.
I just made.
Where did you say he works at? Does he work
At
from home?
OA.
She said she actually went to work. Yeah, I'm back there like freaking out. Like, what the hell? I went to check her car. I checked the package. I was like, it was like one of these old ladies, maybe had next to her or something. I had nothing, and I wasn't gonna let her.
Yeah.
Like the Monday.
Right.
So they have their first one today. He said it was great.
Yeah.
We made it through, man. We got a control. Good. Go. Okay. Okay. Let's say they're where would that money come from? I mean, it's
Like a buddy thing. That's nice. I like that.
I'm getting on the board.
Historical, you know.
Yeah.
But probably not so much women, girls, but boys. So. I agree.
Yeah, worse
So-
than my niece is.
Right, no, you're right.
I was on council a long time ago. So we met at his house and he said everybody's gonna wear sports coats to all the meetings. And it lasted about 3 meetings. Sorry. I love everyone, every team.
Let's call tonight's city council meeting to order. Please Rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Paul, could you take the roll?
Derek Cox, Brad Dreyer. Here. Beth Enneking.
Here.
Doug Stock.
Here.
Melissa Tucker.
Here.
Thank you. You all received copies of the July 14th minutes. Have you all had a chance to review those, and are there any questions, comments, corrections? If not, could I have a motion to approve last month's minutes?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from our July 14th meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Department head reports were available at the back of the room, and they were provided last week for your all review. Were there any questions or comments on those? Okay, we will move on to Mayor's Youth Council. I do not see any Mayor's Youth Council members here tonight, so we will go on to old business, which we have none. We will move directly into new business, and the two items we have on the agenda are the first reading of ordinance number 2, 2025. That's the employee salary and hourly rate ordinance, and the first reading of ordinance 03-2025, the 2026 elected official salaries. I'm going to let Paul handle this.
So each year at this time, we have, to start the budget process, one of the biggest things we have to do is figure out what increases we're going to have for the salary and the hourly rates and for the elected officials. This year, they are based on I always base them on the Consumer Price Index for the year, which is 2.5%. So what I'm asking for is a 2.5% across the board for all the rates and for the elected officials. I know we've had some situations in the past with not wanting to raise the council in between the 4 years, but I thought we came up with it made more sense to do an annual raise instead of worrying about a 4-year catch-up type thing. So I know Derek was the one who usually would say that, but I think last year we kind of got to the point where it's just easier. So that's again, this is a first reading only. I asked you to look at and review them. If there's any questions, let me know. And then at the September meeting, we will go ahead and ask for the to approve them on the second reading. Any questions? Okay.
Thank you, Paul. Actually, the next item is your report.
Year-to-date, July numbers are in the reports as usual. Anybody have any questions, let me know. Also, the budget meeting, which I just talked about, it's going to be moved. Instead of being on August, I think it was supposed to be the 27th, we're going to move it to September 24th at 6 p.m. in this area due to I will not be able to be here for the meeting at the end of August. So if we can move it to September 24th, that still gives us enough time to go through it, and by then I'll actually have a little better numbers, because some of the numbers I'm still waiting for are for what their estimates of our local income tax is going to be and for the assessed values. Franklin County does have their assessed values out. Ripley County does not yet. So if I have those numbers, it'd be better off. Then we can go to it. We just have to finalize the budget at the October council meeting. So, because we have to be in by November 1st. So, and we don't like to pull a special meeting just to approve the budget if we can help it. So it's going to be, again, the 24th of September at 6 o'clock in council chambers. And other than that, I just need to approve the claims.
I'll make a motion to approve the claims.
I second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the claims tonight. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Do we have any citizens that would like to address City Council tonight?
Please use the microphone since we're. Sorry, please use the microphone since we're recording and we're streaming.
Of course. So my name is Victoria Mertz. I'm a resident out here in Batesville, Indiana. I don't know if you all saw this in the last week. The county council out in Franklin County imposed a wheel tax locally to make up for the difference that was lost in the property tax cuts that happened in Senate Bill 1 earlier this year. So my question is based on this budget meeting that we have coming up on September 24th. If Ripley County has an expected deficit like Franklin County did when they made that decision to impose that tax. Is that something that you all are going to be talking about at that meeting, proposing any new local taxes that might be needed?
We will be talking about what the counties do because we have no control over what Franklin or Ripley County wants to do. I do understand that the cities now also can add another tax. We have not.
We have not discussed
We
it
have not
yet.
discussed doing that at all. I think we want to make sure what are the counties doing first. And yes, Franklin County did approve already, and I don't know I have not heard anything of what Ripley County plans on doing.
Okay, thank you.
The counties already were authorized that they could do those. Some counties already had those.
Yeah.
But your state legislature gave municipalities the ability to levy those taxes as well. I did read a few comments on social media at the astonishment, and again, yeah, you know, when the property taxes in the current state budget was approved, it is creating some shortfalls for counties and municipalities. So the state legislature's answer to that was, let us be the bad guys.
It's really nice, isn't it?
But again, we have not discussed anything like that yet.
Okay, excellent. Thank you all for clarifying. I appreciate it.
Does anyone else have any questions or comments that they would like to bring before council?
So I guess this is our time I see the Weigel's guys back there. I had an issue that I met with Chuck and Michael with about some semis going through that alley. I met with those guys and met with Geist TV and Daffodillies. And so I'm just kind of curious what, you know, their yard was damaged and their sprinklers were damaged due to a semi coming through, not making that turn and going up into their yard, into the driveway, into the other yard. So I'm just curious what kind of things can we do? I talked to Chris, and he said they don't have a lot of semis going through there, but when you get to the road that runs before Weigel's is Elm Street. And Elm Street coming out of that alley is more narrow than Walnut Street. Walnut Street is significantly wider, so it appears as semi can make those turns.
Well, I don't know. John and I actually, this most recent, this was the most recent accident that occurred at the funeral home, or the damage that was caused there. But in my short time as mayor, it's not the only one.
Well, the Daffodillies just got her car sideswiped.
Correct. John and I went out there, and I think the biggest issue right there by Daffodillies is that utility pole. And then another item, and everybody used to make fun of me for taking pictures of people illegally parked, but when you have cars parked on yellow lines, you know, if you've got a truck trying to make it, or even if it's a car, you have to swing out. Yeah. So, and then also on Walnut, there's in between the alley and then the entrance into the bank, and like where Doug Wilson's office is, there is space for one car to be parked there. But again, if, you know, I think in the past, some of the semis have tried to make left turns because they couldn't make that right turn because of the pole.
Yeah.
But again, if you've got a car parked in that spot, and when, again, I was over there 2 times. I was over there the day of the other accident as well. You can't really make a left turn if there's a vehicle parked in that spot, so we could do away with that parking space. But then again, you had there happened to be a car
Right,
parked on that
right,
yellow line, but
right.
it wasn't dropping something off or picking something up from
Yeah,
Peter
Dave
Paul
Gutzwiller,
office
Peter- yeah,
equipment.
right.
But, so that makes it rather difficult too. You know, somebody said, well, you need to enforce the parking on yellow, which I agree, but, you know, in my opinion, it's so rampant in this town that people would lose their minds if we wrote tickets for it. And I don't think our officers have the time to do that.
Well, I don't think once those, if a semi goes past, say, the post office, the back of the post office, they can't make a turn out of that next road. I mean, it's tight. And,
yeah.
and there's other issues in addition to that because, again, the same thing, if a car's parked close to that right turn,
Correct.
they can't do anything. So I don't know if there's a way to, you know, I don't want to close an alley kind of thing, but it's like, how do we at least prevent them from going past, let's say, the post office, somewhere over there, from semis? Or, and this is kind of a side note, but I did notice that where the sidewalk comes behind the bank, that we've got handicap accessible in a couple of spots, but yet where that alley comes in, they can't get off that's not accessible. It's not handicap accessible. So is that something that was?
Between Daffodillies and,
Yeah,
And the
in between
bank.
Daffodillies and the bank, one part of that. So one part of that, I mean, that sidewalk's not that long. It's, you know, probably 15 feet. One part is done, it has a handicap accessible ramp to get up on, but the other side is not, which to me is kind of a pointless thing because they can't go. So I guess that would be that's just kind of a separate question.
I think they can go around the back and then pull in there, because I talked to all three of them also, Chuck from Weigel's, Daffodillies, and Geist also. But what you're talking about, I think you can go, you know, from Daffodillies and then go in the backside of PNC to get to those. Is that what you're saying?
They can, but I just didn't understand why that ramp's not handicapped. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
side.
Oh,
The
right there on the
backside of it, yeah.
sidewalk, on the
Yeah,
corner.
the sidewalk part. of it.
Okay, I got you.
it's a good question, Brad. And honest to God, I didn't even notice it when John and I walked over there. I don't have an answer as to why that wasn't.
Yeah,
done
and so
that way.
that's just
I
something
was-
else.
There's a lot of ramps in town that's on handicap accessible. As we pave the roads, we always update them, so it's just.
That's a really large curb that you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's very large.
Happens as we go through and pave, it's.
And I don't know if that making that turn, if they're coming down the alley from Geis's, making that turn left, would make that any, I mean, I don't think we want semis running up on the sidewalks. However, does that make that any easier? Or we should just really do it for accessibility, I think, along the way.
Yeah, I put that request out for ideas from you all, you know, but it would require an ordinance. One item I suggested was just don't permit semis in the alleys. Yeah, I know,
My only concern with that is talking to Chris, and he would probably kind of be the main one, because Daffodillies, they apparently park on the side on that side road, and they could get in right there. But
Yeah,
with
and-
Chris, you know, if he gets 2 or 3 semis a week, or I don't know what he gets, he kind of, you know, I don't know exactly, but then that makes, you know, delivering and all that stuff. Do we want them? I mean, I guess they could do it park out in front of City Hall to unload stuff or things like that. I don't know. I mean,
well,
That's what I was saying. There's got to be other options if we eliminate
well,
semi-trucks,
I think that's another option. You deliver on the street.
Right. Which is how UPS and some of them do also.
At the liquor store, they get deliveries on the street.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, yes, it's a parking lot, but in front of the building, it's basically a street. And, I mean, I don't think they're there very long. I'm not sure, you know, it's probably an odder end item that they're delivering. But, you know, I guess, you know, some of the other businesses, yeah, the semis or the trucks come through the alley right behind this building as well. But they typically, it's easier to get in here. You have a lot, and they will turn around and they will back into Ison's space there. But yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily have the answer, but that, to me, that seemed like the easiest answer. I realize it will be an inconvenience for someone if they happen to pull up behind a semi that's unloading. But I also think, you know, if you're coming up the street, you could see a semi from a couple blocks away, and you could turn and go around the block, but that's just me. And God forbid, we don't want to go there.
Well, but what if we limit the semi from, like, I'm terrible with the street, so like Main Street, which is the back.
Main Street,
back to like the post office. So that's, and so they, because that road, they could turn left or right easy enough. That road's plenty wide.
Make them turn on
Which one's
Walnut.
plenty wide?
Make them turn on Walnut.
They can turn on Walnut, yes. They can turn on Walnut Street, that's plenty wide.
Well, they'd
can't turn-
almost have to turn left because there's a utility pole.
Yeah. So we could still turn, they could still come back there, they could do their unloading for, you know, for Chris's stuff, and then turn and go back out. And then I guess they make another left right on the other side of the bank, which,
Well,
you know.
I guess my only question there is, you know, I think a lot of times with these guys that are driving, delivering Serta mattresses, they're not always the same guys, you know. I mean, do we just,
But they should know, I mean, the curbs are being damaged also, and then business property is being damaged, so we have to take that in consideration.
No,
As of, like we were talking about Weigel's, that's happened 3 times this year, if not more, going into their grass. Daffodillies had someone hit their truck or hit one of their
no,
vehicles.
believe me, I hear about it before
Curbs.
you do.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I get it. And if that's what you feel is, you know,
I don't
best
know the other
alternative,
option,
we
but
can-
like you said, that one curb might help, but
I mean, Chief Manis, any comments as law enforcement? Any suggestions?
It's just a tight area through there with those semis. So, I mean, I don't really have a suggestion on what's the best route to go.
And I mean, the other thing that looking at it, on Walnut Street, if you stripe that, as you're on the left-hand side, if you stripe that yellow.
Right.
Where there's not a car parked there, I think it makes it easier, but again,
Yeah, no,
keeping them from not parking there.
Yeah.
But if we do that, and if that is a problem, then I guess we have to rely on, you know, Chris or some of those other people to notice those cars, to call the police and have that car ticketed or towed or whatever we need to do to prevent people from parking on the yellows. I mean,
Right. So is that what you want to try? You want us to take away that, technically, we probably have to amend an ordinance to take away that parking spot, but
I think it's 2 parking spots there. You're right behind Daffodillies, you're saying, by Peter Paul.
no.
Which
we're
one?
talking about on the, I think we're talking about on this in front of Peter Paul, that's just a drop off.
Right.
It's actually a drop off zone.
It's up a little
I think
bit
Brad's
further.
talking about the one in between the alley and the drive into,
yes,
Right.
the bank.
to the
Yes,
bank.
you're correct.
Is the
Yeah.
one he's talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're also talking about that curb right there that's really high.
Yeah, fix that curb, yeah. Do you guys, Chuck, I mean, you got, Mike, you guys, any thoughts on it? I mean, like I said, we looked at the yard a couple times, and I know,
Directionally, we can tell they have to be coming from Walnut or some way and turning out onto. I don't think they are physically able to turn into the alley from Elm Street because of how narrow the road is and the parking along there anyway. Someone's car would have already been hit, or they would have gone much deeper into our yard in that area. I mean, if worse comes to worse, the only thing we could do would be put up some type of permanent poles or place markers behind our sidewalks at the end of the driveway to where they would physically have to hit it. But, you know, that's something structurally that we don't want to have to purchase or incur the cost of. We would rather eliminate it by redirecting the trucking in some way. But unless Chuck has anything else to add to it, It's occurred more than once in this year, and since we've added irrigation and the sprinkler system, it's more than just rutting the yard. It's causing, damage that is costing us.
And I also know that there's residents over there by you, they're putting big boulders because some of the residents are getting some of the trucks running into their yard too, so by you guys. So I think we probably need to look at the curb, like you were talking, making that handicap, but then semi would still possibly
Yeah, I
tear
mean,
that-
I'm not sure if they
tear that
don't
out.
turn left because of that or not.
I don't
kind
know.
of doubt it because I've seen them.
Right, 'cause it's a big,
ramp up,
tall
but it's pretty
curb.
tall. But I guess we don't have to decide anything tonight, but I would like to think about it,
Yeah.
to come up with some kind of a solution for, for everyone.
Okay, yep. I think we're going to review it a
So
little bit more.
let's just talk about it.
Is it okay if we try that, putting a sign there at Walnut, the alley there at Walnut, where it goes behind the post office, and just say, no semis?
I think that'd be great.
But that's
Chances of
going to
that
help,
happening.
that's going to
chances
help
of-
one side, but it's not going to help the side where daffodilies and them are when they're coming out and hitting the curbs, unless we make that a handicap curb, yeah.
Well, the reason that I think with daffodilies was because there was a car parked there. And so that was just I think if there's a car parked there and we make that area yellow, that it,
There was, oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
yeah, there's a car parked across the street in front of the copier place. And so
Peter
they-
Paul.
Yeah, so they
Peter
couldn't
Paul,
turn, so yeah. Okay, so we'll,
Okay,
Okay, so you want to review it, or you want us to start with the sign there?
I think we can start with a sign. I mean, again, if that,
John, you got that?
if that would prove anything, I'm not sure, but I guess we could try.
Okay.
If I may, today we did install a camera from that angle of that side so that we can at least try to capture a plate or whoever of, in
Okay.
transportation number on the truck or something of whoever it is, since the last time we were unable to be present when it occurred. The prior time, Chuck just so happened to be outside when the
Yeah.
guy was making the turn, so we were able to call the local law enforcement to kind of make note of the situation, but otherwise, that's kind of our first preventative step, put a camera in today.
And I hate for you guys to incur those costs, because it's not your fault that they're doing those things, but you've done that, and now, daffodilies may consider doing something like that, and so I just, yeah.
And with all due respect, we can put all the signs we want up and tell people not to park where they shouldn't, but people
Yeah.
are still going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, semis, we could put this sign up and semis are still going to go through there if they, I mean, we've all, my grandpa drove a truck for however many years, and he was damn sure not going to let a sign tell him he couldn't go where he wanted to go, right? You all knew my grandpa. And so, again, say what? No, he's
haven't,
not.
so.
He might be driving a different kind of bus. But all that being said, I certainly would say that we can do all this, and semis may continue to do. And so a little self-help here. I think your point with at least being able to identify who's doing this stuff, that we have some recourse would certainly.
plus it help
Be
deter them, hopefully deter a little bit more.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, because again, to a certain extent, we got to be hopeful that Mike or one of his guys are lucky enough, like Chuck was, to be on site when they see something like that happening. And ultimately, if they wind up in there by mistake, they got to come out one way or the other, type of thing. So, anyhow.
Yeah, let's try that, and then if you guys obviously just keep me informed of if you see more of it.
I think Brad's brother-in-law sells really nice big rocks down on 46 if you're looking for something.
All right. Do we have any other citizens that would like to address council? If not, I will be really brief tonight with my mayor's report. I'd like to thank everyone who came out to the National Night Out and to all the organizations that took part. I think Community Drug Free Coalition made a nice donation that pretty much covered the cost of the food. Of course, our officers are out there grilling. I don't know who was the hardest working griller, but there were a lot of burgers, I know that. So thank you for all the hard work, Brian, for your department, having folks out there. I have a quick update on the milling and paving, and I'm going to ask, I got back into town late this afternoon, so I'll ask John to correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe Eastern and Western have been milled, and Locust and Columbus were milled today. That leaves EGS from Columbus to Lakeshore that will be milled tomorrow. And then Wednesday and Thursday, the paving will be done. Am I on spot on that?
Yes.
Okay. I'd also like to congratulate the Fraternal Order of Eagles and their auxiliary on their 120th and 65th respective anniversaries, and they celebrated that this past Saturday. We certainly appreciate all the things they do for the community. They make financial commitments to lots of groups in the community, and we appreciate it. Last item I'm going to mention is the Tap and Chisel Craft Brew and Spirits Fest will be held on August 23rd. VIP tickets are available until the 22nd, and advance sales tickets are available from August 9th to the 23rd for $40. Tickets day of the event are $50. Music will be provided at the event by Dan Goodapple, Marissa Folenkamp, and Craig Quick. And we also have, last year there were some food trucks there. This year we're going to have some local vendors. Ison's Pizza will be serving pizza by the slice. I think soft pretzels, breadsticks. Blanco's Catering is doing Mexican street corn tacos, and VG's, I don't remember her menu, but she will have assorted Indian foods to serve all of our guests. Again, that's August 23rd. Early bird admission is 2 o'clock. Is that right? VIPs, okay. And the event, the regular runs from 3 until 6. That concludes our agenda for this evening. Our next regularly scheduled council meeting is Monday, September 8th at 6:30 p.m. And again, our second meeting will be on the 24th, and that will be for the approval of the budget. Correct. Talk about the budget, yes. Thank you. We are adjourned. Oh, I do need a motion, guys.
You don't have that power. I'll make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.